Time is the shortest thing that we have. There's only so many hours in the day, and we're always trying to make the schedule. If you're not getting everything done exactly as the schedule says, it starts to slip. But you know, that's what it's all about. That's where we thrive. We love the pressure, and we're here to get it done.
The amount of work, sweat, and tears, literally, that it takes to put this building together.
It's a lot of work, and it ties a lot to the number of people on site and the work hours that are being put into this thing to make it go sky high.
All the resources that are on the project right now are around 200 to 250 men and women working on site. That number's going to double probably within the next 6 months.
It is a lot of long hours in construction. It's something that kind of gets in your blood, and you're either gonna succeed at it or you're gonna hate it and get out and do something else.
Yeah, the rest was won.
I'd get to the job site early so I can get settled in, get some more coffee naturally, turn the computer on, start looking at daily reports and PTPs from yesterday. It's a busy day every day. We kind of joke about it, but it's kind of true. We probably spend more time with people at work than we do, our own families at home. And that just makes that time you do spend with your family just that much more valuable and precious to you.
That's the way it is. 10, 11-hour days is pretty typical for the last, at least my last 25 years in the business.
I'm no Bubba Swink. I don't show up at 5 o'clock in the morning and work till 6 or 7 at night. So, here at Flint Co, we're the construction manager at risk. As a senior project manager, kind of providing oversight for the entire team on the project. We have some 40-odd different trade partners that are working with us to complete this project. MEP contractors, drywall and framing, painting, tile, flooring, etc. On site, we've got 225 workers right now, just right now.
The number of orientations, I think we just crested 1,000 people that we've oriented through our safety program.
Construction is one of the most dangerous professions there is. Here we've done an orientation for over 1,100 people. We go over things like PPE, making sure they're aware of their surroundings, making sure that they're aware of everyone else, looking out for one another, and if they see something unsafe, to say something, to speak up, so that way we can get it taken care of.
These things, it's not just, you don't just drive by and you see some workers out there swinging hammers and pouring concrete, and that's all that goes into it. There is a bunch of people that are involved in these projects.
There's a lot of involvement, whether it's a 50-story or a 30-story, a single story. It can kind of get overwhelming once you start listing off all the names, because like we're sitting here talking about putting together a topping out celebration and thinking about our RSVP list, and we're circling up on a number of 500 to 700 people that are potentially going to show up.
Just a cool process, and there's so many different stages, and the high rise can, you're still pouring concrete at the top and you're painting, down below. It's just kind of cool to see, it all go together in the flow to get there.
Construction sites, especially ones as complex as 44 East, are sometimes described as organized chaos. I agree with the organized part. The chaos would mean that I haven't done my job, or our team needs to adjust what we're doing. There really are no typical days. You can celebrate your victories, but there's an immediate challenge right behind that one, and another one after that, and another one after that. First meeting of the day is our 6:30 trade partner huddle. We talk about what's going to happen that day. So after the 6:30 huddle, we have a Flint Co internal team huddle where we communicate from an office standpoint to a field standpoint, and then from that it's a shotgun. Everybody goes to their position. But when there's 200 men and women working on site, 20 to 25 different trades, there's a lot of communication interactions, issues that may arise in the field while your phone's ringing. is a typical look for a superintendent. We sometimes receive 20 or more deliveries a day on a busy city block in Austin. Knowing when that delivery is going to be here, how long it's going to take, what gate it's going to, what floor it's going to, how we're going to use the hoists that are on site to utilize that and not interrupt the flow of moving 250 people throughout 300 feet of elevated floors. Bubba Swink is the overall project superintendent. I take my direction from Bubba. From me, it breaks out into superintendents with specific roles. We've got Colt on structure.
Being a superintendent over the structural package, the biggest thing is time. Building a building like this downtown, we pour all concrete at night. I'm out here this morning. I'll be out here 3/4 of the day, making sure all the rebar and PT is correct, sleeve placement's okay. I'll leave and then I'll end up coming back tonight to pour concrete. Might have 2 pours per week. You're going through the drawings constantly, constant changes, making sure you're up to date. People coming at you with issues that they need fixed. Me having issues that I need to make sure that I get done on time. I am 100% the pace setter for this project. As fast as the decks can go is as fast as all the rest of the trades can go. Curtain wall, all the other MEP trades, drywall, everything follows me. The fastest I can go, that means they can roll more crews in. Things get found out, things get changed, coordination needs to happen. So we have another system called Procore. We keep all of our drawings in and then do RFIs, submittals for any product that needs to go in, any changes need to happen. The architect goes through and signs off on all those changes. We lay everything out with the GPS system, all the sleeves, any kind of conduit that needs to run through the slab. It's all planned out perfectly for how these walls and all these units go into this building. The more correct we are up here, the quicker they can throw their material in to get up this building and not have to do any corrections or fixes to those.
And moving down the building, we have Tanner Stefka. He's a younger guy on the team, moving into a field role. He's got high energy, high enthusiasm, loves what he's doing. It's really fun to watch him.
Thanks, man. What's up, Alex? Curtain wall is all of the glass windows, all the panels, all the doorways. So it's called curtain wall because it extends past the edge of the slab of the building. Structure and curtain wall go hand in hand. If there's ever any concrete issues or steel issues that go on, I have to coordinate with Colt. One of the revisions that we've had was like 200 pages. So my curtain wall subcontractor has to go through all of that. All of his detailers have to go through that to see what exactly changed. They write up a quote that I have to process and submit to the owner. And then after that's approved, we have to go back in, re-detail, re-coordinate a lot of the stuff that may have been missed in the initial review, and then resubmit that another 350 pages, go through that may or may not have changed, and push that through before we can proceed with any of the field work out here. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that a lot of people don't see or know about. It's easy to see all the pretty windows and glass and the panels on the side of the building, but to lead up to that is so much work and hours and coordination, not just with the curtain wall guy, not just with the concrete guy, but mechanical, waterproofing. There's a lot of stuff that goes in. Rewarding whenever all of your hard work and coordination behind the scenes pays off and looks great for the owner.
Continuing throughout the building, we've got Kyle Holloway, superintendent over MEP, which is a really high activity process on the job site right now. Kyle, just like most of the superintendents, has a big motor, always moving, always talking to people, working through issues. Kyle is we'll call him a grease man. He keeps the job moving in the areas that it needs to be moving the most.
You live and die by the flow of the structure. Then you got the windows, and then you got the rough-in, level 12. That's where the residential floors start. That's where I'm at right now. So a lot of activity at the moment. My main scope that I'm managing on this project is MEP, and MEP stands for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, which is the guts of the building. What makes the lights turn on, the toilets flush, the AC blow. MEP starts up top on the deck right now. We got a deck pour tonight. You would think part of that's just the concrete part, but going into that, you got all the rough end of the plumbing sleeves, all the home runs for electrical that goes in, all the blockouts for mechanical. A lot of times people think that when you start a job, you just take a set of plans and you go build it. On a job like this, a mega project, a high rise of 50 stories, there's a lot of planning that has to go in ahead of time. And that starts with the BIM process. So many months ago, before we even put any sticks of pipe in the air or duct in the air, all the subcontractors upload a CAD file to a model. And then Flintco takes those models, they put it into one model together, and we'll find the clashes. Doing that ahead of time saves time and money in the field. When it's go time in the field, it's receiving the material and immediately installing it and not look back.
And to everybody's favorite, the amenity deck, we have Ronnie Rivers, who is the amenity guru. He's done it before. He's involved in it every day. Really complex activities with the swimming pool and the dog park, landscaping. There's a lot of different things coming together, and his experience is very helpful.
Level 11, the hangout spot for the residents or their family members or friends. It's kind of got a wide range of various rooms and activities that can be done here. We have the swimming pool here, we got game rooms, we have family rooms, there's a fitness center, so there's a variety of different types of finishes. This floor also houses 2 resident suites in the event that one of the residents want to invite family members to stay the night. Some of the challenges are just being able to understand the drawings, get to know your guys. You see a wide range of individuals, different types of personalities, and your point is to make sure you can get those guys to work together to produce a good product in the end. You've got to make sure that you know your floors in and out, me being an assistant superintendent, and then we have our OEs and our PEs, which they're vital to what we do with the amount of time they spend in the documents, in the drawings, making sure all the right communication is had, help coordinate our meetings, they schedule all our site visits. There's various things that they do behind the scenes that don't necessarily get the notoriety that they probably deserve, so you always got to give a hand to those guys as well.
We really couldn't do what we need to without our counterparts here on the job site with us. One example, Anya Choi, who's tremendous to work with.
I oversee all of the MEP trades on this project, so that's mechanical, electrical, plumbing, elevators, fire protection, low voltage. So there's a lot of coordination between all of those trades. We have weekly BIM coordination meetings just to ensure that the systems are able to fit in their designated spaces before we actually install them on site, just to make sure that we don't have clashes. It is like our little family. A lot of the guys here on the project I've worked with for the last 4 years. I'm like, well, they're like my brothers. Tanner, he was an intern when I was at Rainey, so I got to see him grow, and it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, he is going to be such an incredible superintendent when he grows up. And Oliver, Clark, and I have worked together nonstop for the last 4 years. Kyle and I worked briefly together on 70 Rainey, and now I lean on him a lot on this project. So it's important, you know, to have those relationships and have that trust. All of us work long hours, so we like to do fun stuff, whether it's after work or outside of work. Go out on Rainey Street pre-COVID. That was always a fun way to de-stress. The guys, they like to play pig, which I don't like because I've broken 2 of my succulents. But no, it's not bad. I mean, everyone's having fun. And it's important because it's a very high stress job, but you couldn't do this without amazing people that we have on this team.
For our C-suite on the project, you have Zach Halpin, who is our CFO, and then you have Oliver Moore, who is our COO.
There's really 4 important arms as part of the construction process. First and foremost being safety, second being quality, you know, delivering a quality project to the owner. And then third and fourth, we'd say our budget and schedule, which are the 2 facets of construction that Oliver and I manage.
I spend majority of my time in our project schedule, making sure that we're staying on track, getting with the superintendents if something's fallen off the radar, making sure that they're seeing exactly what I'm seeing. If they've changed the plan, getting with them, making sure that we're both on the same page for the plan, and then continuing to work the plan.
My job is to manage the costs and communicate that to the client, which is Intracorp, understand our exposure, our risk, and what our options are, manage all the drawing updates and changes in the documents, and really be a filter between the project and the subcontractors to our client.
When I walk in and something comes out of nowhere and I have to handle that, it's exciting. You never know what to expect when you walk through the door.
We have very challenging jobs, challenging roles. There's days that are frustrating, but knowing that you work alongside people that are as dedicated as you are and as supportive and helping one another as they are really makes a project like this a whole lot more fun.
This is a great group of people when you think about it. They're smart, humble, hardworking team players. And you gotta have that.
And they like to have fun while they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember when I first got into it, I was the young guy, you know, looking at the old cranky superintendent. Now that, you know, doing this for 30 years, it's kind of hit home now that I'm the old cranky guy that everybody's, you know, pointing to and talking to, and, you know, they're 20 to 30 years younger than me now. I have to laugh at it because I can sit there and see myself at their age thinking the same thing that I'm sure they think. A couple more years, he'll be gone anyway, so just work your way through it. Actually, there's two guys, Tanner and Cade. They're just two peas in a pod. I would actually adopt them as my sons if I could, but my wife won't let me, probably for good reason. And I try to convince her that, hey, they both got good jobs, so at least I know they work. Clark, Colt, Ronnie, Tanner, Cade, you know, and Anya, bless her heart. She probably looks at us like we're a bunch of 7th grade boys running around, which most of the time we probably are. It's really great working with them. They're honestly a blessing to be around. Makes me feel younger even though I'm the old guy now.
Step ahead of danger with the greatest of ease. Old Crow, Coca-Cola, smoking 5-cent Phillies. Fingers dancing up and down the crazy keyboard. Poetry in motion, tapping rhythm out on the floor. Yeah, they were singing cowboys living out under the gun, falling out in last call on the day. The West was won.
Thinking about it's just a lot of work.
So here's another question. Do you know what Bubba Swink and our Transformers have in common?
They're both hot. I really hope that doesn't make the reel. Hopefully you can come up with the bloopers outside for that one.